My name is Don Weiss, and I've been practicing chiropractic since 1984. This will be 40 years in practice this year. My training is in chiropractic, exercise rehabilitation, and energetic techniques. And I am very excited for the opportunity to facilitate this workshop entitled Clinical Applications of Muscle Response Testing to Evaluate the 6 Steps to Decreasing Biological Age. Many of you have seen Dr. Martin's presentation on sirtuins, guardian of the genome. And after reviewing this presentation, I was just very motivated to create a protocol to incorporate this into my practice. Along with my colleague, Jennifer Coggins, we formulated a procedure utilizing muscle response testing to access information from a patient who is pursuing the 6 steps to decreasing their biological age protocol. This presentation will primarily focus on the technique to help your patients or clients. We will not be reviewing molecular biology, and if you need more information around the science of the hallmarks of aging and sirtuins, please refer to Dr. Martin's presentation. What we're seeing this evening is the 16th version of this protocol, and I'm trying to catch up to Apple, and they are up to version 17.4 at this time, as I last checked. I'd like to thank all my mentors that have guided me and allowed me to elevate my healing skills. And they include biodynamic resonance, or BDR, with Dr. Dominique Desrochers and Dr. Patty Ebert, total body modification, or TBM, with Dr. Victor Frank, neuroemotional technique, or NET, with Dr. Deb and Scott Walker, contact reflex analysis, CRA, with Dr. Dick Bersendahl, Dr. Michael Leibowitz's VIAL protocol, neuromodulation technique, or NMT, with Dr. Les Feinberg, bioenergetic synchronization technique, or BEST, with Dr. Ted Morter, electroacupuncture according to Vol, with Dr. Andreas Marks and Bob Ains, Dr. Anthony Vincent, my chiropractor of 27 years, as well as Dr. Kim, who not only motivated me to present this information, but has also developed the nutritional supplementation that has made this possible. So we will review the procedures for the 6 steps protocol first, and then I will review the procedure that I use in my office so that you can learn how to implement it. There are 3 parts to the presentation. The first part is the appetizer. This is the basic information needed to perform this process and prepare you for the second section. I guess you can guess what that might be. That is the entree. The second section will be the instructions for the actual processes necessary to learn this procedure. And the third section, of course, is the dessert, which will be the practical application of this technique. And at that time, please have your examination forms available so you could fill in the information. So the 6 steps for decreasing biological age are elimination of infectious agents, elimination of toxins and allergies, elevation of the energy and the functionality of the hallmarks of aging, sirtuins, extracellular matrix, and the reduction of stress. And I understand that you are very familiar with muscle response testing. However, I'd like to do a quick review of muscle testing. So muscle testing is a clinically friendly method of biofeedback that allows the tester to communicate to the body. It is a tool that's used to access information from the body, just like a keyboard allows you to access information from a computer. Muscle testing was developed from applied kinesiology, which refers to the science of movement. And this is based on a testing of an all or none response to stimuli. A positive stimulus provoked a strong muscle response, and a negative stimulus produced a significant weakening of the test muscle. And this was originally proposed by Dr. Goodhart in 1964. Dr. Goodhart, a chiropractor, developed a system of testing isolated movements of various muscles. The basic concept of energy in this paradigm is that energy flows through every organ, gland, cell, and system of the body. It is called subtle energy. It's life, it's alive. And we'll specifically be working with the energy that flows up from the heels over the top of the head and down over the front of the body, just like a waterfall. The tools that you need are your hands. You have a positive side or palm, and you have the negative side or your nail side. So here is an example. Here's my granddaughter, by the way. Here's an example of testing. So what we need to know first is, where is the polarity reflex? It's at the bridge of the nose. It's not here, which is the pineal. It's not here, which is the master hormone or the hypothalamus. And basically, what you're going to do is look for, if you're doing this in person, you're looking for a positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, etc. If you're doing long distance testing, or if you're testing a patient who has bilateral shoulder difficulty, you could do finger testing. It would be positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. And so we have to make sure that we have a person who is electrical or is testable. So if the arm drops, this is an indicator that the energy is flowing appropriately. If the arm does not drop, there is no shift in the energy, then this is an indication that very little energy is flowing through the body, and it will be difficult to continue testing. The phrase that is often used is that you are not testable, you're not electrical. And this basically means that energy is not flowing through the body with ease as it should. So it's so low or stuck somewhere that it needs to be balanced before any other testing can occur. There are different forms of muscle testing. I'm going to go over a couple. You can have an O-ring where you have a strong and a weak, strong and a weak. You could use one O-ring looking for a strong and a weak. I know some people do finger testing in that direction. I primarily use finger testing, especially for long distance, and we'll show you that through the evening. So what do you do when someone is not testable? Well, you can hydrate them. You could add some lemon juice, or squeeze out some lemon, put it in water. You can eat a healthy snack. You can place a bottle of DYNADH or Intellaman or Inspiracell, something that contains neurotransmitters, and you would have the patient hold the supplement while you re-perform the test. Something else you could do, you can release fingers, opening up the energy along the acupuncture meridians. You can check for vertebral subluxation if that's in your wheelhouse, looking for misalignment. And you can also use proprioceptive test orthotics and place these are from foot levelers. You can place these under the patient's feet and try it that way, and that could bring them back to a polar situation. So the first process I use to determine the patient is to determine the patient's urgent wellness score. The urgent wellness score is essentially a measure of how the body is doing. This process is part of contact reflex analysis that was developed over a 50-year period or so by Dr. Dick Versendahl. So essentially how this would work, if you're doing long distance testing, you would have the patient on the other end place their right hand over the center of their chest, and you would score 10, 20, 30, 40, or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Or if you're doing testing in person, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or wherever it would drop, and you would then put that into the patient's chart. The next process to note in the patient's chart would be their chronological and determine their biological age. So you would ask the patient how old they are. And for example, they're 60 years old and 8 months. And in testing their biological age, we would score 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4 months. And you would place that on the patient's chart. So let's go to step one. Step one addresses the infectious agents, and you're going to muscle test and score each pathogen category on a scale of 1 to 10. So for example, and if we're testing stealth pathogens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, bacteria, 1, 2, 3, mold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, testing for fungus, yeast, mycoplasma, parasites, prions, COVID, Lyme, co-infections, and any other infections you want to place into that section. Step two would be to test and score toxins. So we have typically when we have something that shows up in the infectious agent. So we have a score of 6 or less in some area of infection. The infectious agent toxins will show up at a lower number because when we have an infection, we usually have toxins. For allergenic toxins, if we show a number of 6 or less, we want to check for food and environmental allergens. And then we continue down the list, testing for digestive toxins, heavy metals, pesticides, herbicides, industrial chemicals. If emotional toxins show up as 6 or less, you may want to use a particular technique that you have in your armamentarium, use nutrition or counseling, because when someone has a heavy situation related to emotions, there are going to be toxins released as a result of that. So if we do have numbers less than 6 related to allergenic toxins, I would test food allergens. This is my list. You can create your own list, but I would test each of the foods and put that on the patient's chart. I would then go to environmental toxins, test each of the toxins, environmental allergies, and test each of them on a scale of 1 to 10. For example, animal epithelium is a 1, 2, 3. So there's a high probability that this person has sensitivity to, dogs, cats, pigs, cows, whatever the animal may be, or birds, whatever fits in there. So depending on the situation. Step 3, hallmarks of aging. You want to muscle test each hallmark on a scale of 1 to 10. So for example, stem cell exhaustion, 1, 2, 3, altered intracellular communication, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, genomic instability, 1, 2, 3, and go through telomere attrition, epigenetic alterations, loss of proteostasis, deregulated nutrient sensing, mitochondrial dysfunction, and cellular senescence. Now, in my research, I came across some other hallmarks. This is something that you can choose to use or not. So chronic inflammation refers to a constant, lingering, low-grade inflammatory response that over time can wreak havoc on the body. Dysbiosis is a disruption in the gut microbiota. And so when the cooperation between our cells and the gut microbes falters, the microbial community within the gut can become a source of infection and, at times, lead to serious health problems and age-related diseases. Disabled macroautophagy is the body's natural process through which cells get rid of damaged, dysfunctional organelles and proteins to help maintain cellular homeostasis. Step 4, muscle test each sirtuin. So for example, SIRT1 is a 1, 2, 3, SIRT2 is a 1, 2, 3, SIRT3 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, until you go through 1 through 7 and then document that in the patient's exam chart. Step 4, that was that. Okay, step 5, extracellular matrix, testing all the glands and the organs. For example, brain is a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have an issue. Eyes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have an issue. Lungs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not a stressor. Again, marking down in the patient's chart everything that shows up, and we'll go over that a little later on and show you how that works. Step 6, to eliminate stress. Your attitudes and feelings affect your personal world with positive and negative messages, and this determines whether your body can adapt to events and circumstances occurring in your life. And so for me, when emotions are a priority, I will use the following techniques to address these issues. I would use neuro-emotional technique, biodynamic resonance, contact reflex analysis, nutritional supplementation, or another technique that you might use in your practice. So in my practice, I use the principle of the pyramid of health. So after all the scoring is completed, we'll test, is there a structural priority? Is there an emotional priority? Is there an energetic priority? Is there a chemical and nutritional priority? So this is the menu that I use in my office. So if a structural priority should show up, structural shows up, is it spinal adjustment? Is it BEST? Is it neuromuscular provocation? Is it etc.? If it's mental emotional, should I address that through NET, through BDR, etc.? Same thing with chemical. If it's energetic, should we use neuromodulation techniques? Should I use biodynamic resonance? Should I use the 6 steps? If 6 steps comes up at this point, we're basically going to follow through with the nutritional protocol for decreasing biological age. And we'll see what goes a little later on. So there's also prioritizing nutritional systems. Inno-Vita is a priority for me. Vita is a priority for me. And secondarily, I'll look at Biotic, Supreme, Marco Pharma, and I have some other companies that I work with as well. So your body's like an artichoke with many layers of stress that have accumulated over your lifetime. And I want to access the chief priority. So there are two ways we can look at it. One, you can enter the patient's system by asking and dealing with their chief complaints. So that, do they have digestive problems? Do they have back pain? Do they have elevated blood pressure? And so on and so forth. The other way you can address and enter the system would be asking in regard to their patient's highest and best good, or their highest health priority, or their higher self, and move forward from there. So now we're going to keep score. So urgent wellness score, we're going to score using the CRA urgent wellness score. And by the way, this was used with permission from CRA. And if you want further information there, the website is available to you. So it would score 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then make a note on the patient's chart up here. Determine their chronological age in years and months, and then we'd muscle test biological age, 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Review their health goals. What do you really want to accomplish? What are your health goals? What are your primary concerns? And you would make a note in the patient's chart as well. So we've determined that, and the next place that I would go would be to look at the CRA advanced form. Again, this was used by permission from CRA, and this chart has many different reflexes. These are not all the reflexes, but basically you're going to score the urgent wellness. We're going to look at heart score. We're going to look at mental emotional score, chemistry, structure, hydration, and some areas of the feet, because that can have a significant impact or distortion can cause significant impact on the functioning of the body. The next thing we'll evaluate are the reflexes. This chart is available on Inno-Vita's website. And so we'll look at some of the factors in the upper body in here, and then we'll go through various glands and organs through here. Sometimes I will eliminate these, and look at these organs. It really depends on the information that was derived from the exam earlier as to how I proceed from there. Keeping score, we look at pathogens, stealth pathogens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. Checking for bacteria, mold, yeast, mycoplasma, etc. Testing for toxins. We've talked about this before, and scoring each of those areas. Now, if we do identify infectious agents, then we're going to test for the particular supplementation: Bactox, Lomatia, Microcyte, Paramec, Fungex, Funco, FireX, ViroCo, or other. You may be using other antimicrobial supplementation in your practice, and feel free to do what you do. The next thing we'll check for if infectious agents showed up as indicating stress. We'll look at LymphX, MetaX, Formicatox, Toxex, Yerkman, Able, Integracell, CComp, Xpleen, Livergy, Yorkman, or others. This is just a generalized list, and you can be creative in your testing. So we're going to continue keeping our scores, testing all the hallmarks, testing the sirtuins, and then in regard to nutrition for the hallmarks and sirtuins, I will always test sirtu, because unless we have 10s and all the scoring for the sirtuins, but I always test sirtu, and I'll test Integracell and Cardiart. And this information, this chart is available from Inno-Vita. However, the sirtu is not in the center. That's an addition there. And essentially what we do from here is, as we look at the different hallmarks and we find the areas that are 6 or less that are stressors, we would go in, for example, the stem cell exhaustion, and we would test, does the patient need phosphoryl, methylsin, cytosine? Do we need caps? Do we need liquid? And then I'd test the supplement and score it on a scale of 1 to 10. And then I would put it into a little holder that I created for liquids and caps until later on. As we move along, we're going to keep score of all the glands and organs. So you would go through and test each of the glands and organs and make a note in the patient's chart. And then we have nutrition for the extracellular matrix. And there are a number of them. And they're kind of specific for each of the areas of the body, but you may need to get a little creative because there are so many supplements to choose from. And make sure you would check all vitamins and minerals. The next thing I like to check or keep score around is lifestyle and other factors. So if we score a diet that's 1, 2, 3, there are a number of different issues that may be related to this. It could be that the person is eating horribly. The person could have metabolic dysfunction, any number of severe allergies, hypersensitivities, so they're not able to absorb, metabolize, utilize the food and nutrition that they're taking in, or they could just have nutritional deficiency. If we get a score for rest at a 1, 2, 3, typically that person is not able to sleep. They may have insomnia. Some of the factors that come into play here that I look at are score their mattress. How does their mattress score? It's a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Well, how old is your mattress? Well, it's only 15 years old. May be a factor. Another factor could be that they are sensitive or hypersensitive to electromagnetic fields. And I know some people, they keep their phone on, they keep it next to them, they have a computer in their room. Sometimes it's the electrical setup where they have various outlets in the room and they're sensitive to that. That could also be a factor. It could also be stress related where they can't stop thinking about something, or they're under so much stress that their head and mind are just running like a hamster on a wheel. If someone tests or scores an exercise at a 3, you know they are not exercising. So I always recommend to my patients, do something on a daily basis. So are you walking? Are you bicycling? Are you using a rebounder? Are you using progressive resistance exercise bands, yoga, Pilates, plank exercise, something. Do something every day. When emotions test low, there are several techniques that I use. You may use some techniques that can address that. There could be nutritional support for that as well. Sometimes a person needs counseling. And there are other lifestyle factors that would come into play as well. Again, looking at allergies, if our scoring was low earlier on, then I would check food allergies, and I would check environmental factors as well. So at this point, I'm just going to briefly mention in Dr. Martin's presentation, he spoke about various categories and various supplements. So we have, and these are essentially a culmination of the information that I derived from that. We have cellular health and the supplements, endocrine, digestive, urinary, circulation, respiratory, muscular, neurological, lymphatic, skeletal, and reproductive. And you can be really creative in the work that you do around this, but these are some guidelines. Another thing that you can use is the commonly used Inno-Vita formulas, again, found on Inno-Vita's website. Here's a picture of the form that is available to you, and you can use that as a guide as well. Excuse me. So I'm going to take a moment here. So at this time, I'd like to demonstrate the entire protocol. So let's take a minute to review the procedures. So the first thing we want to do is muscle response test for polarity. Is the person polar? Positive, negative, positive, negative. You would score their urgent wellness, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Make a note on the patient's chart. Determine their chronological age. Muscle test for their biological age, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, and months, 1, 2, 3, 4. Review their health goals. Review their primary health concerns. At this point, I would scan their systems and organs. And in my case, I would use CRA forms and kinesiology reflex forms and or other forms that you may use. You want to score infectious agents, toxins, score for food environmental allergens if they are a priority, score the hallmarks of aging, score the sirtuins, and the exercise matrix and lifestyle factors. Once you have all that information, you're going to determine the patient's priority for treatment and begin using the appropriate protocols that you use in the practice. So at this time, please have your exam forms available and something that you can write with, and because I'm going to be writing with you. And I need a volunteer. So is there someone willing to help me and be evaluated? Hi, Linda.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
Only pretty well?
I'm doing very well.
Okay, that's what I want to hear. Excellent. Okay. Have you had water recently?
I have, but I have some, oh, I don't have it here. Didn't make
Okay,
it
but
down
I'll,
here.
I'll just check in. You seem okay. Okay.
Okay.
So the first thing we want to do is we want to score your urgent wellness. Actually, I tested for polarity, so I'm going to test. So the first thing I'm going to do, and we're doing long distance, we're accessing information from a long distance perspective. So when I come in, I'm just going to ask the question, and I'm doing this on this, can I access information? So before I even ask for a test for polarity, I'm just asking your body, may I access information? Am I speaking to Linda? Am I speaking to any, I'm going to do it this way. Am I speaking, how's that work? Am I speaking to Linda? Am I speaking to anyone else? I'm speaking to Linda. So we'll come in and do polarities. You have positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. So we have the ability to access information from you. So that's numero uno. And then we're going to score your urgent wellness. So I'm going to ask you, if you would, is to take your right hand, place it over the center of your chest for me, if you would. And we're going to lock that in and we're going to score. Your urgent wellness is a 10, a 20, a 30, a 40, a 50, a 60, a 50, a 40, a 50. So if you would write down, if everyone would write down, just circle the number 50. You can relax your hand, Linda. So again, the urgent wellness score is a measure of how the body's doing. And basically, these are different frequencies, and a 50 frequency could relate to stomach, liver, adrenal, or spleen. So we're just going to make a note at this point. And then the next thing we'll do is write in the urgent wellness score. So I'm going to do that. So what was your urgent wellness score?
50, you said, right?
50. All right, you get an A so far. Good job. All right. Now, are you okay sharing your chronological age?
Sure, I am 72.
72. You're a youngster.
Yeah,
And how many months beyond that are you?
November. So,
September, February,
November,
March,
March,
April, May,
April.
June, July, August,
Yeah,
September, October, like 10 or 11?
from November to now, right?
Well, from when you were 72 till now, how many months has passed?
Yeah,
10
yeah,
months?
November, March, April,
Okay,
May.
so your chronological age is 72 years and 10 months. So we're going to access your biological age. So we're still accessing accurate information. So your biological age is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So what was that number? 65 and 4 months.
In 4 months.
As I said, you're a youngster.
Cool.
Look at you. All right. Are there any health goals that you would like to share at this point?
Um, Probably cognitive and a little and some stomach stuff that's doesn't resolve.
Okay, so we have cognitive and stomach stuff, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Okay. And we can go into primary health concerns, but I don't want to bring that information in here. But you would normally ask what the concerns are and move forward from there. Now we're going to do and use the CR advanced form, which you should have in your file. And we already established that your urgent wellness wasn't 50, so I would put an X next to the 50. And we're going to do some scoring, first beginning at the heart score. Now we have several scores in the heart area. We have the main heart, which we're going to score, and our optimal score is a 12. So if we have a 13 or above, that would be indicative of too much energy. If we have less than a 12, it would be less than optimal energy. So we'll start with your heart, your main heart score, and I'm going to score that now. So your main heart is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm going to ask you this question. This is a heavy duty math question. Is a 14, if 12 is optimal and 14, is 14 too high or too low?
Too high.
You get another A. So that's 2 A's on your report card. Okay. When the heart score is not at 12 and it exceeds 12, it usually affects the kidney. When you test kidney, I'm not going to go into that right now, but we know that the body seems to be saying that there's too much energy in the heart. We're going to go into mental, emotional, brain reflex, and the optimal score for that should be a 12. I'm going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have a 14. If you want to write that down, mental, emotional, brain score is 14. The next score we're going to look at is nutritional chemistry. And our optimal score for chemistry should be a 10. So we're going to check in. Your chemistry is a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, here's another test question. If the optimal score is a 10 and you have a 4, is that too much or too little?
That's too little.
Look at that. You have straight A's so far. Good job. All right, structural, we're looking for a 10 as being an optimal score. So your structural reflex is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 or 80. If you look on the right side of the chart where we have the urgent wellness, 80 is indicative of structure related to bones, joints, ligaments, discs. It could be extremities. There's something structurally showing up energetically. The next thing we're going to look at is hydration. Optimal score is 10. So your hydration is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our optimal score is 7. I mean, 7 is kind of like a C, so it's passing, but it's not optimal. So far we have 3 A's and a C. You're still passing, so far so good. But anyway, when I look at hydration, I like to compare it to the radiator in your car's engine. When you don't have an adequate amount of antifreeze and water in your car, what will happen to the temperature gauge? It will go up.
It will.
So it increases the temperature gauge. And in the body, if we don't have an adequate hydration, the temperature will go up. So it causes an inflammatory process because you don't have enough fluid. So why is it that you don't have enough fluid? I don't know at this point, but we're going to try to figure that out for you. And we'll move on from here. So the next thing, I'm just going to check the insteps. That would be your arches. And we're going to score the right arch of your foot. And that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our optimal scores in the feet should be a 12. I'm going to score on the left. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we have a low score like that, that usually indicates there are fallen arches, pronation, imbalances, and we have a structural issue, so there might be related to your spine. But we can, if you were, so I'm just going to have you come to the office now. We'll just check it out further, and we'll figure that out. But it probably would require further evaluation. Okay, there are a number of other scores that we could do. I'm not going to go into that for time's sake. So, just as a review here, the right heart, which we're not testing, is circulatory. The center heart relates to neurological. left heart relates to immune system. So we have some general scores that gives me an idea of what's going on. So the next thing we're going to test is the kinesiology reflex points. So you mentioned that there were some cognition or cognitive issues. So I'm going to check this section here because we're in the upper body and the head. And I'll start out with the brain reflex. So everybody should have this chart available so we could write in some information. So we'll score the brain reflex. The optimal score that I like to see in this area is 12 for the reflexes 1 through 6 and 10 for the reflexes 7 through 33. And I'm going to test some of these and we'll just check. Brain is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have too much energy, right? The cerebral spine is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have too little energy. The crown reflex is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have too little energy. The cerebellum is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have perfect energy. We have pituitary is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pineal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there we are so far. We had one area that was too high, 2 areas that were too low, and 3 areas that were balanced. We're going to check some other things. So we're going to score thyroid is a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have low thyroid energy in this reflex. Parathyroid is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right lung is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Left lung, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your thymus is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our thymus is 7 out of 10. So that could indicate something affecting the immune system. Left lung, 1, 2, I think I did that. So we'll check right breast is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bile duct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have some issue going on digestively. Your liver is a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have some stress in the liver. Gallbladder is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, some stress there. Stomach is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's interesting because you said you had some digestive issues and we have some energy, lower energy in there. Small intestines a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully everybody's writing this down. Your spleen is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spleen relates to our immune system. We have less than optimal energy related to that. Pancreas is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like you have a happy pancreas. Your colon is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have more stress in the digestive system. We'll run down these few others. Uterus, we'll check uterus in female and prostate in male. Uterus is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I mentioned earlier that when the energy of the heart elevates, then we have a compensatory situation in the kidney, which I didn't test earlier, but we'll test it now. So typically we see an elevated energy. So your right kidney is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Left is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have right 11 and left 11. Your right adrenal is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have less than optimal energy in the adrenals. By the way, thank you so much for volunteering.
Sure.
You're a great volunteer. I don't care what the rest of the group says about you.
I don't either.
Your lymph is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's perhaps some stagnation of lymph fluid. Blood is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7. So when blood and lymph are less than optimal and the immune system is less than optimal and spleen and thymus, it usually potentially indicates there's some buggy thing going on in the system. Do you have any questions for me at the moment? I'm asking you specifically.
No, I don't.
We're good. Okay. Now, we're going to go to the next section, which is on your handout, causative factors, toxins, hallmarks, sirtuins. So we're going to fill in this information. So let's move on. All right. So stealth pathogens are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when we have a 6 or less, just reviewing, when we have a 6 or less, that's usually indicative of a stress. When we have 7 or above, I don't really necessarily look at that right away. We want to peel away the layers of stress with the chief priority. So bacteria is a 1, 2, 3. So when we have a 3, that's usually a stress. Mold is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fungus is a 1, 2, 3. Yeast is a 1, 2, 3. Mycoplasma is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Parasites are a 1, 2, 3. Virus is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Prions are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. COVID is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lyme is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lyme co-infections 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what's showing up so far? We have stressors related to bacteria, fungus, yeast, and parasites. So moving along to toxins. When we have issues or stressors related to pathogens, we typically have a lower number related to infectious agents because we have toxins from the infections. So infectious agent toxins are a 1, 2, 3. So we have a stress there. Allergenic toxins are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Digestive toxins are a 1, 2, 3. So something in the digestive system. Heavy metals are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pesticides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Herbicides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Industrial toxins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Emotional toxins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 for that last group, no problem. All righty. The next thing we're going to score is the hallmarks of aging. So stem cell exhaustion is a 1, 2, 3. Altered intercellular communication, 1, 2, 3. Genomic instability is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Telomere attrition is a 1, 2, 3. Epigenetic alterations are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Loss of proteostasis, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Deregulated nutrient sensing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mitochondrial dysfunction, 1, 2, 3. Cellular senescence are a 1, 2, 3. Chronic inflammation is a 1, 2, 3. Oop, almost lost my pen there. Dysbiosis is a 1, 2, 3. Disabled macroautophagy is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go to sirtuins. So we'll score SIRT1 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT2 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT3 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT4 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT5 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT6 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT7 is a 1, 2, 3. So we have some stress related to sirtuins. So we don't have what we need at this point. The next thing we're going to score is extracellular matrix. Let me catch up to myself here. All right, extracellular matrix. So we look at bladder as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Brain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ears are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eyes are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gallbladder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heart is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kidneys are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Large intestine is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see a pattern. We have issues related to digestive system, organs, glands that are showing up. Liver is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you sure you're happy that we're doing this evaluation?
Absolutely.
Okay, there we go.
Know it.
Lungs, lungs are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ovaries are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to exclude the prostate from testing for you tonight. Is that okay?
Please do.
Okay. Skin is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Small intestine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spleen is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stomach is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's go to tongue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uterus is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Adrenal glands are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hypothalamus is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pancreas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Parathyroid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pineal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me catch up here. Thymus is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And thyroid is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost my score. Pituitary was a 5.
Pancreas, 7.
7. Thank you. I thought I wasn't sure. Okay. Let's look at the next section, lifestyle factors. We're going to score your diet. Your diet score is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yay.
Better be.
And there you go. Your rest scores, your exercise scores at a 10, 9, 8, 7. So you are exercising, are you?
I am. Different things, but yes.
Okay. Rest is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Emotions are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have some good numbers in lifestyle, which is good news. We didn't really come up with allergies as being a priority or environmental factors as being a priority, so we're going to move beyond that. And now we're going to come to the point where we're going to determine what your chief priority is. And we're going to go into my health menu, and I'm going to ask in regard to Linda's highest and best good relevant to the current symptomatic picture that you're experiencing. So I'm kind of combining that. Is it related to a structural? Is it? Is it not? Is it related to mental emotional? Is it? Is it not? Is it related to a chemistry? Is it? Is it not? Is it related to an energetic priority? So just in review, when I go through the energetic priority, I'm going to look at which technique we should use. So should we address this through neuromodulation technique, through BDR, through 6 steps? So since it came up as 6 steps, that means to me, we're going to go through with the nutritional priority. So I'll show you how this works. So going back to our sheet where we had causative factors. So we had bacteria, fungus, yeast, parasites. So I'm going to test, do we need back to X? So back to X, do we need caps? Do we need liquid? So in my test kit, I'm going to pull out back to X liquid. I'm going to score this for you. This scores at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to place it into my holder where we will check further. Now, we come back and score the bacteria. The bacteria energy goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm just testing to see what impact the nutrition has on the energy. It doesn't mean that it automatically goes to a 10. It means that it has that potential to go there, so it's really test well. And I'm going to retest fungus. Fungus is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, by incorporating back to X into your energy, we get an elevation of fungus. Going to test yeast. Yeast goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It gets to a positive number. We'll check for parasites. Parasites score at a 1, 2, 3. So that tells me that we need some support for that. So we'll look at microcyte, paramac, microcyte. Microcyte, do we need caps? Do we need liquid? So we're going to go into and locate microcyte, and we said liquid, caps, liquid. So we're going to pull out liquid. We're going to score microcyte. Microcyte scores at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I will place that into the holder. When I treat a patient in person, I will have them hold this on their lap or hold onto it. But since we're doing it long distance, I'm behaving as a surrogate for you. So we have something for parasites and something for bacteria, and we have an elevation of the energy for fungus and yeast, and we have the rest were 7s or 9, so I'm going to move forward. We're going to look for nutrition for toxins. So we have Lympha-X, Meta-X, Promicatox, Tox-X. And we're going to look at that. Do we need capsules, liquid caps, liquid caps? So I'm going to pull Tox-X. And I'm going to score that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to put that into the holder here. And now we have 3 supplements. And I'm going to score these together. How do these score together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And get a good read on that. We'll come back and look at infectious agent toxins in your chart, and they go to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we get a positive change there. Digestive toxins go to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get to a positive change there. So now we have 3 supplements addressing toxins, addressing bacteria, addressing parasites that got all those causative factors as far as infections and toxin into a positive number, 7 or above. Now I'd like to go back and rescore your hallmarks to see if the supplementation that you're using has a positive impact on the hallmarks. This is probably a very critical point in this work, because if you're just going to go and test everything and put all these supplements in, you're going to have so many supplements, you're not going to know what is affecting what aspect of the testing. So we go back to, excuse me, stem cell exhaustion goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It gets us into a positive. Altered intercellular communication goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Genomic instability was positive. Telomere attrition goes to a 1, 2, 3. So I have a test question here for you, Linda. Did the telomere attrition alter in any way when we use those 3 supplements? No or no?
No.
No. Okay. So that's something we're going to come back to. We have mitochondrial dysfunction, which is 3, goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cytosenescence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have an elevation of stem cell, altered mitochondrial, and cytosenescence by using those supplements. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Cool. Now, sirtuins. SIRT1 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT2 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT3 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT4 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT5 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT6 is a 1, 2, 3. SIRT7 is a 1, 2, 3. Typically, I do not see any increased energy scoring with sirtuins from treatment or support with the infections and the toxins. So our next step is to test for nutrition for the hallmarks and sirtuins. So we had, I believe, 1, which was telomere attrition, that still had a low score. So we look on our chart, and that is, we should have that chart somewhere. Or no? Oh. Well, we should have access to that chart to the website. So we're looking at telomere attrition. So we go into telomere attrition over here, and we'll ask, do we need acetyl? Do we need antioxidant? Do we need DY-NADH? Do we need caps? Do we need liquid? Do we need caps? So I'm going to pull out DY-NADH. I'm going to score the supplement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to put it with our other supplements and score them together. This is therapy localization 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to come back and test telomere attrition. It goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, 10. At this point, because we have low energy related to the sirtuins, I am going to test for SIRT2. SIRT2 is, do we need caps, liquid caps, liquid caps. So we're going to pull out SIRT2. And SIRT2 scores 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to put these supplements together. And we have together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we lock that in. Do we need acetyl? We need antioxidant. So we just need DY-NADH. So we already had an elevated energy of stem cell, altered, etc., and our telomere attrition went up to a nice number. SIRT2 and 1, when we added SIRT2, goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. SIRT2 Cert 2 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have a positive energy shift by utilizing cert 2. At this point, I would test for CardiR, which it seems to be testing CardiR, IntegraCell CardiR. So we're going to look for CardiR. We'll score this. It scores it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, I'll put that in the mix. We'll score the therapy localized these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are you with me? Everything so far so good?
I certainly am.
All right, we're going to go back to the extracellular matrix and we're going to rescore everything. So let's see. Whoops, let me go back. Whoops, sorry. So extracellular matrix, brain goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Big shift. Gallbladder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Large intestine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Liver, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Small intestine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stomach, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So if you think about it, we're having digestive issues, right? So if we're looking at digestive issues, would we look at, galactic? Will we look at Coltrax? We look at, what else will we look at? One of those. Okay. So do we need galactic? Do we need Coltrax? Do we need galactic? Do we need caps? Do we need liquid? Do we need caps? Do we need liquid? We need caps. So we go into galactic and we score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We score this together. Therapy localized 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We come back to stomach and we score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it has a really positive impact on the stomach. Adrenal glands, we're testing, they were a 5. They go to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pineal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thymus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thyroid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've elevated everything to a positive number, 7 or above. All right. We didn't show any stressful numbers, but if there were stress or emotions, we look at adrenix, serologic, epipineal, hypothalamic, optimogen, cetiquil, Zenidapt, or some other support. The other thing that I'd like to check is, do we need B comp? Do we need C comp? C comp. So I would pull out C comp and I would score that. How does the score? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Together, scoring these would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do we need chrome comp, potassium comp, min comp, magnesium comp, vanadium comp, Verdans, Fortifiber, any other? This is a file cabinet that I built for the test files, and it looks like this. So I have those right next to me. So when I was pulling files out, you could see how easy it is to get. I have an alphabetical set. I have Dr. Martin's protocol on one side. And this is the supplement test holder that I created because it makes things real easy because you keep them all here and you can test them together instead of having all the patient hold all these different vials. So we're getting close. So in the last page of your handout, you have a nutritional prescription sheet. And so essentially how this works, you'd write in the name of the supplement, for example, cytosine liquid, which I don't believe showed up, but anyway, since we're doing drops, we would ask, how many drops, how often, and I'll get into the more specifics of dosing in a little bit, but essentially this gives you an overview. If we're using caps, when would you take them? How many would you take them? And if we're using, a powder, CAR-DR hypo, sorry about that, 1 scoop in 6 ounces of cold water, how often, daily, every other day, 3 times a week, and then the duration. So now what we're going to do, let me catch up to you. is we're going to go over dosing. And this will be, Linda, especially and specifically for you. So I'm
Okay.
going to share with you how I do this. In review, we determine caps or liquid, and we've also already determined caps or liquid. So, for example, the first thing we're going to test is SIR2. So we're testing SIR2. We would write SIR2 in the sheet, and we're going to ask the question, how many caps can your body safely tolerate? And we're going to ask the question and answer it. How many can you safely tolerate? You can safely tolerate 1, 2. So you can safely tolerate 2 per day, 2. And would that be daily? And should we do it in one dose and 2 doses? So I would write in SIR2, 1 cap with breakfast, 1 cap with dinner, and that would be that particular supplement. And I go to the next one, DYNADH. How many caps can you safely tolerate? You can safely tolerate 1, 2, and that would be daily. And so would we do it in 1 dose, 2 doses? So I would write down DYNADH, do that 1 twice a day, breakfast and dinner. The next supplement would be Golastic. And how many can you safely tolerate in a day? You could safely tolerate 5, 4, 3. So we do daily. So we do 1 with each meal. So we'll get that to assist you in breaking down some food that's not breaking down appropriately. Toxex, we could safely, how many Toxex caps can you tolerate in a day? 1, 2. So we could safely tolerate 2 in a day. Should we do that in 1, 2 doses? Should we do 1 Toxex twice a day? If we're looking at microcyte liquid, how many drops can we tolerate in a day? 1, 2, 3. So we could safely tolerate 1, 2, 3 drops in a day. So should we do that in 1 dose, 2 dose, 1 dose? Should we do it in AM, PM, AM? Should we do it with breakfast? So I recommend doing microcyte 3 drops in the AM. Then we have back to X. How many drops can you safely tolerate in a day? 1, 2, 3, 4. Should we do that in a day? How many doses? 1, 2. Should we do 2 drops of back to X, AM and PM? Now you can put the back to X and the microcyte into the cardior. Cardior, we can safely tolerate 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 1 scoop, once per day. AM, PM, AM. So we do 1 scoop and 6 ounces of cold water daily. And when you do that, you can add in your Bacto X and your microcyte right into that and shake it up. And C-COM, you can safely tolerate 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 cap daily. So we do it AM, PM, AM. So you have your protocol.
Well, I think the only thing I didn't get was Scholastic. Those are caps or drops?
3 times a day with meals.
Caps.
1 cap 3 times a day with meals. Correct.
Got it.
Okay. Now, what I want to do is go back to your CRA advanced form. And if you want to take that out, because I want to see what, if any, changes have occurred when we energetically are saying, you're going to do this protocol. And so we'll score again, placing your right hand over the center of your chest, and we'll score your urgent wellness. And it is a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, yay, 90. We go back to your heart score main. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Go to your mental emotional brain. It goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We go to your chemistry and nutritional score. It goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay. We go to your hydration. It goes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we go to your structure, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Obviously, we didn't address the structural priority. It seems like it's still a priority, and that's something you can look into and get that addressed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Okay, so before we move on, um, I've been doing this for 6 months. And in that time, I've treated a number of my patients utilizing this protocol. We've seen a lot of positive changes. Before I get to that, I just want to say that some people have difficulty detoxifying. And in some cases, I suggest to the patient that they begin this protocol with half of the protocol and try that for 2 to 3 days. And if they're fine with that, then to begin implementing the full protocol. But I've had some people who started, the body said it's okay, testing said it's okay, and then you have someone going to the bathroom 6 to 8 times a day, which is kind of heavy duty, or they're confused, or their brain's not working right because there's too much, or they have an inability to detox appropriately. So sometimes you need to slow that down, and that's an important factor in addressing your clients and patients. So positive changes in patients. So I've seen increased energy, they feel younger, significant decrease in back pain, decreased blood pressure, thinking more clearly. And I was really impressed when one patient came in and said, I have to use less insulin. And I was really excited about that idea. And of course, decreasing biological age. So the information presented to you this evening reflects how I practice. And obviously, you can use this protocol, but feel free to use the protocols that you're using in your office or kind of integrate them or add or subtract whatever it is that you need to make this yours. My goal is to help people become as healthy as they can be for as long as they live. So thank you for your time and consideration, allowing me to share this information with you. And I'm just going to leave my contact information in case you need to get in touch.